Hey everyone, and welcome to video 4 in my series with Sales Hacker, where we answer your questions from the Sales Hacker community live by video. Now, this one is one that's actually near and dear to my heart because it actually comes with something that is really core around how I do business and how I do outbound sales. And so that question is, let me share my screen. So question number 4 is, do sequences actually work? Now, I completely understand why this question comes up. People are taking data on their own, they're tracking their own work, and they're tracking their effectiveness on phone, email, social, what have you, and they're not necessarily convinced that they need automation. They need some extra tool to do the work that they're already doing well. So people who actually run an already good sales process and get really high conversion rates, reply rates on emails and all that stuff, it's really difficult to see the value in a solution that's meant to do just those things. However, it really is a matter of a mindset around what sequences are for. Are sequences for automation or orchestration? Now, I don't think I need to explain to you what our automation is. Everybody knows that a sequence tool like Outreach.io is going to allow you to automate certain monotonous tasks, certain touches like automated emails, alerts, notifications, all the different types of things that can really ramp up your productivity as a rep or ramp up your team's productivity as a team lead. Now, the thing that doesn't really get talked about much and people don't really think about is that it's really about orchestrating a multi-touch, multi-channel sequence of events. So really, it's automating or orchestrating a sales process across several different touch patterns. So as an example, you might have a fully automated sequence, or sorry, fully manual sequence or sales process that you run consistently that incorporates a manual email, highly personalized for the individual, a follow-up phone call, and then maybe a social media connection or an engagement, something like that. And then you might follow up 3 days later with another manual email and a phone call. Next week, you might do the exact same thing. And your sequence or your sales process might be that you do this for 3 or 4 weeks in a row until your prospect actually wants to talk to you. Cool, no problem. Now, can you run that on a CRM? Yep. Can you run that with one-off tasks? Absolutely. But if you did that, you're going to be missing out on some key benefits of leveraging a sequence tool. So number one, consistency. Now, some CRMs out there have awesome workflow management and all those other fun things, and you can kind of hack your way. You can create things. I've done it in Salesforce before, done it in HubSpot before they had their Sales Pro. But the thing is that they're not really built for that. They're built for coordinating other different types of tasks and being more of a system of record that you can use to run a wide range of tasks. So what happens is that your reporting, instead of just building a system to actually structure, you're also building an entire new reporting structure on a system that's not built for it. So if you're getting system updates, if you're doing different things, there can be so much challenge. There's going to be so many challenges in your way of just keeping your system running. Conversely, a sequence tool is actually built for that. So the reporting, the structure, the technology, the system, everything is actually built specifically for managing and orchestrating your sales process for outbound sales. So that's number one. Number two is the measurability. So just what I said previously, that the system is actually built for it, for delivering a consistent process. Now you're talking about measurability. So because these systems are actually built for outbound sales and the running this type of sales process, the measurability is amazing. You're able to track the efficacy of each touch point, each channel, each sequence. You're able to even A/B test sequences against each other. So if you think that calling first is more effective, but you want to test if emailing first is more effective, you're able to do that really easily just by cloning a sequence from one to another. Okay. So there's so many different things here. So I'm just going to say, start with one is consistency. Do sequences work at consistency? Yes. Because you can run the same process day in, day out with every single prospect with very, very few keystrokes, very few clicks of a button. Number two, is it measurable? Yeah, absolutely. There's a much more robust reporting tool that's actually built specifically for the task at hand. Okay. Now, the third one is that what I was saying before, orchestration. So if you're running siloed tasks, if you're running your cold calls separately from your cold emails, separately from your social selling, then what's interesting about that is you're going to have to make sure that each of these channels are effective on their own and standalone. Otherwise, you won't do them. Okay. So when you're reporting to people higher up, you're reporting to the board, you're reporting to your team, your data may be very skewed because these channels aren't meant to be siloed and thought of as different channels, as different areas of outreach. They're meant to work together. What you're doing is you're trying to reach out to a prospect and get them to start a sales conversation with you. You're not trying to prove the efficiency or effectiveness of the phone or any specific channel. So the best outbound sellers I see out there run a consistent process that they can track and measure and A/B test, but that also are able to orchestrate and combine channels. So for example, if you're emailing somebody and then you're calling them, or sorry, you're calling somebody and then emailing them, you could leave a voicemail for them and say, hey, expect an email from me tomorrow with the subject line ... And from there, you can also say, when you connect with somebody on social, you can say something like, very simply, hey, you know what, Jim? I just sent you an email the other day. You don't need to get back to me here, but take a look at the email and let me know what you think. That's it. Something nice and simple. So a sequence tool allows you to orchestrate those multiple channels so much better and so much easier. And what all of these come together, what these do. So the poster actually asked for independent data, but I'm going to say there is biased data out there. And I encourage you to find your own data. But data we have from outreach basically says an increase in 387% in productivity. So just by having a tool itself, you're going to increase productivity. Now, maybe your numbers aren't going to be 4x like what's advertised. Maybe they're going to be higher, maybe they're going to be lower. But regardless, running a consistent process, you will have productivity improvements, hands down. But the effectiveness now of what you do, because you're going to have clear data to actually run better plays, I've consistently, with people that I coach, consistently got them from sub 1 to 3% response to over 10%. And how do we do that? Through a thing I call continuous optimization. Now, what that means for you is that because I have tools, because I've used outreach for my A/B testing, I've been able to collect data and actually see that there's a consistent way to improve each channel, each touch, rearrange your touch points and all these things. And I can see it as a group. Okay. So I could go on and on and on, but realistically, even if you already run a great sales process, even if phones, email, and social, direct mail, what have you, are running really well for your company in a silo, if you actually combine them together through a sequence tool and you run consistent A/B testing through what I call continuous optimization, then I would have to say a big honkin' yes. Sequences do work. Thanks, and be sure to look out for the next video from Outbound SOS and Sales Hacker. Look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.